Hello everybody. Timing solution digest number 4. This digest about special model in timing solution, natural cycles model. You see, this model actually developed as a kind of express analysis to conduct analysis for price history very quickly. Okay, let's I will show you something. I have download here S&P 500. Let's display the latest price history. Clicking this button, and you see this natural cycle. This is this button. You see this button N. Click this button and look what we have here. We have different variants of annual cycles. So we have annual predictable zones. We have moon predictable zones. I will explain you what is that. Okay, firstly, annual cycle. Let's display this annual cycle. To make natural cycles model visible, you need to set this option on. You see, you will set this option on, and now you will see annual cycle. Blue, this is annual cycle. If you will set this fast annual cycles, it also will display fast annual cycle. Okay, let's start with this annual cycle. This annual cycle, this is annual cycle for S&P 500. I have, by the way, this is S&P 500, based on all available price history. So the first annual cycle, this is annual cycle that is based on all available price history. You see, there is clicking this button, you can change the parameters here, like color, thickness. We can display annual cycles like it is here, that's a normal way, but you can also display it inverted way, or display both normal and inverted projection lines, so everything is possible here. Also, you can change amount of overtones, harmonics. You can get less detailed projection line, less detailed annual cycles that shows a general tendency. And also display it like many details, like. So we have a very detailed annual cycle here now. Okay, let's move 24. Clicking this button, you can hide this annual cycle. Another options here, this is, you see, fast annual cycle. This is fast annual cycle. This is annual cycle that is based on last 3 years. In other words, to calculate these annual cycles, we use only last 3 years of price history. And these annual cycles shows how this annual cycle worked the last 3 years. And mid-term annual cycles. To calculate this annual cycle, we use only 12 years of price history. Here it is. Projection line. So, in other words, we have a blue. This is annual cycle based on all available price history. Red based on last 3 years, and lime based on last 12 years. This is good. Then all this projection line, all these annual cycles show the same direction. Next feature I would like to show you, this is annual decennial cycle. Let's I will set here 10. Okay, annual decennial cycle. Set this option on, and you will see another projection line. This is annual cycles. This is decennial annual cycle. You see, to calculate this annual cycle, the program uses years 2013, 2003. 1993, so this is 10 years pattern. 10 years pattern, you see years XXX 3. But around New Year, around Christmas time, usually users asking me how to calculate an decennial cycle for next year based on pattern 4. XX4. You see, do this. Just click this option, set this option on, and you see the program will use to calculate this annual cycles. The program will use next year, 2014, 2004, 1994, and so on. Another possibility here. You see, let's set this parameter to 4. This is kind of a presidential annual cycle. In other words, to calculate these annual cycles, we use years 4 years ago, 2019, 8 years ago, 2015, 12 years ago, 2011, and so on. You see, we can set any pattern here, for years pattern, and the same story we can set the next year. Next feature, no, you see, you can set here any pattern. Next feature I would like to show you, this is a monthly cycle. This is averaged price movement within month, from first day of month to next day of month. So I will set this option here on, and you see it shows the general picture how annual cycles works. Usually end of months S&P started to go up, and goes up till about about 5th day of month. After that, usually it goes down till end of month. You see, this is pattern for monthly cycle. Also, there is a feature for weekly cycles, but you see, weekly cycle is very choppy. You see, it looks this way. It's not good from my understanding. Also, you can set here any cycles with your own period. Like, for example, okay, let's say it will be 3000 or P, and so on. This is PES. Yeah, and look how this free cycle looks. Yeah. And the same story fast based on last 3 cycles. Okay. Next feature I would like to show you. You see how to verify these annual cycles. You see, this is a very simple model, so there are not heavy backtesting here. This is just a first expression, to get a first expression about cycles. But some features to verify this cycle presents. You see, you can set this firstly set LBC to somewhere here. Let's set LBC to end of 2021 here. You see how to do it. Just move cursor and right mouse button and choose this item. You see, LBC is here. LBC learning border cursor is here. And now set LBC to backtesting mode. Okay. Look at this. To calculate this cycle, the program used this annual cycle. The program used the price history before LBC, before end of 2021. This price history is not used. Why it's so choppy? Because I set too many harmonics here. Okay, I will set it to 12. Okay, it looks better. By the way, look at this annual cycle. Usually annual cycle works. You see, this is out of sample example, out of sample price history, out of sample projection line. So to calculate this projection line, price history, this price history after LBC is not used. So it's no feature leak here. Okay, so next feature I would like to show you. I will set LBC to last price bar. It's final mode. This feature also, okay, look at this. Yesterday it was March 10, and now the program shows the statistic for all days March 10. From very beginning, from when it was, it seems to me it's 1950, yep. I can, by the way, I click this button, you see small button to like undo zooming. And you see, since 1920, 1950, it was 31 ups for March 10 and 20 downs. By the way, all weekends are excluded. So this is only trading day. We analyze here only trading day. So this is day of year statistic. How the price moves every March 10. Day of month. How how price moves January 10, February 10, March 10, and so on. Usually it was 54% ups. Totally it was 335 ups and 285 downs. And the same Friday, yesterday it was Friday, and program calculates the movement for each, for all Fridays, and this is statistics. 56.5 ups. It shows us, but yesterday it was definitely not up. Definitely yesterday it was crazy day. Okay, this is statistic. Next feature I would like to show you. This is calendar statistic. Do this. I forgot to mention. For example, I would like to see statistic for next Monday. Monday it will be March 13. Okay, just you see a set shift 1. You see next day it will be March 13 and March 13 your 61 ups and so on. Match of day this is Monday. Day of day of month is 13, and day of week this is Monday. All Mondays usually mostly more downs than up. Okay. So now I will show you this feature. Clicking this button, you will get Excel spreadsheet with all calendar statistics. But you need to be Microsoft Office should be installed on your computer. Otherwise, the program simply cannot generate Excel file. So I click this button, and now what we want to display. Let's display. Okay, let's start to do this. Display day of year statistic and day of month statistic and day of week statistic. Okay, let's do this. Start with that. With this. Okay, click OK, and now program will generate Excel file. You need to wait a bit. You see, this is progress bar. Wait a bit. Done. You see, and this is statistic for whole years 2023, January 1st, day of year, it's no working day. Next, January 2nd, usually price goes up. Day of month, price goes up, or usually second month of second day of month price goes up. And this is a weekly statistic. Every Monday price goes 50-50, and about Friday usually it's more ups than downs. This pattern repeats every month, every week. You see, next Monday it was exactly the same statistic, and so on. So we have weekly statistic, we have day of year statistic for all days, all January 1st, January 2nd, and so on, and day of month statistic. Okay, and I close this. No, you can save this worksheet, whatever. I close that, and now let's build another worksheet. Let's it will be day of week. We'll do this daily changes for next 30 years. Okay, I will click OK and wait a bit. Okay, look at this worksheet. Excel worksheet. You see, let's set, we'll set you March 2nd, March 10. March 10, here is March 10. You see, March 10 this year, 2023. And now program shows, okay, just a second, I will make this this information, I will set it. Look at this. For your convenience, it's better to freeze this information about years. You see, I do it this way, highlight it, and you see in this in View tab, there is feature freeze. Okay, I will freeze this panel, freeze row, and now you see while I move the table, the contact, we can see yes. Okay, and now look at this. I will choose here March yesterday it was March 10, and now program shows March 10 and 1994. The price went down 0.7%. You see red, it means price goes down. Next year, March 10, price went up 1.31%. Next day it was a holiday. Then next day 1997 up, and so on. You see, you can see detailed information, the price movement for all years. And you see, actually users use this feature a lot. And now I would like to show you another feature, APZ, Annual Predictable Zones. And after that, we will return to calendar statistic model. You see, I open this tab, you see, and what is that? For example, we want to know the price movement between, for example, March 10 and let's set April 15. Okay, I will set April 15 here. And you see the program shows how price moved last 12 years. General statistic, mostly price went up. Median changes, it's 0.3%, or $10 converted to current price. Average, it's 1.3%. And deviation, it's 3%. And you see for all these days, for year 2022, 2021, how my price movement between this interval. So you can, and you see statistic, it's 8 ups and 4 downs. I will extend to this window, and this way, by the way, we can change it and see how statistic changes. You see, okay, you see we have found a good statistic that price since March 10 till April 24, price it was 11 ups and 1 downs. You see, it's very convenient from some current day, some specific day, you can find the best trading interval. And this parameter, the program analyzes last 10, 12 years. And you see, we can actually do automatization of this procedure. Click calculate button and wait a bit. Actually, you see, the program calculates very, very fast. You see, it shows this is annual predictable zones. I will look at these predictable zones. Firstly, it recommends to open, do long position. We're expecting price up since January 7 till January 11. By the way, here you can specify the transaction length. So the minimal transaction, it's 5 days. You can increase it. And you see just highlight here, and you can see statistic. It was 11 ups, 1 downs. You have statistic, median price changes, median price change, and average price change and deviation, and day by day, year by year. And for you can the same way you can check all these predictable zones. So you can see how these predictable zones work. Also, you see if this feature is checked, you can see these arrows here. You see, this is annual predictable zones, and for each arrow, you can find information here how this arrow performs in fast within the last 10 years. This is annual predictable zones, and you see now we'll return to our calendar. No, this feature allows to display percentage here, how many ups, how many downs, and what's that? Detailed statistics, whatever. Look at this. Now I run calendar, and we'll choose everything. We'll display a day of year statistic, how price moved every day of year, every day of month, every day of week, weekly statistic, annual predictable zones. We'll display also these predictable zones and based on the annual cycle, and we'll show how the price moved last 30 years. You can change this parameter. Let's display last 10 years. So report for year 2023. Clicking this button, you can set these options as default and click OK. Calculates. It takes some time to calculate this table because it forms Excel spreadsheet, and Excel works slowly usually, but usually it's 1-2 minutes max. Done. It calculated less than 1 minute, actually very fast. So this is Excel spreadsheet, and you see for every day, each day, you can see day statistic, day of month statistic, weekly statistic, and you see it shows predictable zones. You see it's since January 6 till January 11, price goes up, 11 ups, 1 down. These predictable zones, you see this is blue, green predictable zones here. Since March 30 till March 8, price usually goes down. It was 3 downs, 9 downs, 3 ups. And you see next, the last predictable zones, it's here. Since this is Christmas rally, since December 20 till you see these arrows. It means that goes to next year. So it was 11 ups, 1 down, and next year go to beginning these predictable zones. It's just sec. You see it shows it continues to till January 4. So you see all information is here. You see, actually users use a lot of this feature. It's a very interesting feature. Okay. Next question: how to verify these predictable zones? You see, my friends, actually this model has not been developed for that, because for backtesting we have more advanced models, but some feature present. Look at this. I close console. Look at this. I will do the same. I will set LBC to somewhere here. Let's it be last 2010 somewhere here. And now I will set model in backtesting mode. And now, as usual, I will run calculation. And yes, backtesting mode. And now you see, to calculate these predictable zones, the program will use last 12 years, but since LBC. So the price history will not use after the price history after LBC will not use to generate these predictable zones. So click this feature. It shows you that last 10 years since where is LBC? LBC is LBC it's LBC is 2010. So the price since 2010, 2009, and so on, the price generally goes down, and this is in sample interval. This is before LBC. But after LBC, it shows now how these predictable zones work after LBC. When the price history with that is not used to calculate predictable zones. You see, it shows up, down, up, up. So it's just a sec. It shows more downs. It's in sample, but out of sample we have many ups. So maybe this predictable zones is already it's not working. And the same way you can check another predictable zones. You see it shows more ups, and we have more ups here. So we have more ups both out in sample before LBC and out of sample. We have more ups here. So this is this predictable zones looks more promising. Okay. And you see, I also want to show you one feature, funny feature. This Mikhail Tarasov, my son, developed this feature. Look at this. There is you can click set detailed, and I will do final forecast. I will use all available price history. Set LBC to last price bar. Okay, will display only last several months. And you see, I will calculate now detailed predictable zones. Wait a bit, it takes some time to calculate because it needs a lot of calculations. You see what program does? It calculates calculates all available predictable zones. You see how this looks. I will make it visible. You see there are a lot of errors, and you see annual cycles can be calculated this way. You see, since end of July till August we have down, especially since beginning of September till end of October, then up, then it was some down and much, and so on. You see, this is it shows all predictable zones and these predictable zones they overlapped. You see, the same arrow. The overlap predictable zones. You see, Mikhail used this approach in timing solution mobile service. He calculates predictable zones this way because he needs to find much more predictable zones. This is what we have. It seems to me everything I have explained here. No, by the way, the same way you can calculate moon-based predictable zones, but it seems to me they are not working. Also, last, you see, I took picture from my beginning. It was picture from this website, CleverTap website. This picture from this website. It's not mine. So that's it. Thank you. You see, I forgot to mention. You look at this. If we analyze annual cycle for last week, because you see, it was terrible week. We're down. Today, by the way, is March 11, 2023. And if we analyze annual cycle for this year, it actually shows down, up. It shows up. So this annual cycle cannot explain this movement. But if we analyze, if we will add here fast annual cycle, we will watch how annual cycle works last 3 years, last 12 years, it shows down. It means that this tendency to move to a downtrend within this period, it appeared recently. Actually, we can do this. We can check it here. Set here March 5th till March 10. March 10. March 10. And look at this. It was last 12 years. It was 7 downs, 5 ups. It was last 11 years, 6 downs, 5 ups. Last 10 years, 6 downs, 4 ups. Last 9 years. You see, this pattern actually it's more strong now. Last 10 years. So it means that this pattern, down pattern, this is something new. So that's it.